So, um, so this franchise, the Dungeons of Naheulbeuk, the Dungeon of Naheulbeuk, is like it's actually a franchise that started as a um comedy sketch, and it was only audio. And why is it not showing? There it is. There it is. Okay. Um, and it was only audio. And as you can see, it's in French by default, I think. Wow, even then the volume is super loud. Okay. There we go. Okay, English menus, please. So okay, so this franchise started as a kind of comedy sketch, riffing on Dungeons and Dragons, and it was mostly like making fun of the character archetypes. So like the barbarian was super dumb, the mage was kind of super snobby. Like that's kind of the whole premise of the thing, and it kind of took on a huge following. Like it just became like massive in France, and they started making a bunch of other stuff, other content tied into that IP. So it started as only like audio kind of things that were kind of like getting out every few weeks slash every few months, and it turned out into they made novels, they made graphic novels, they made tabletop games, which I've played, and now apparently video games. So yeah, it's pretty freaking huge. Like it's getting pretty massive. And as far as I know, it started with like one or two dudes, like originally, and I think it was one guy actually, and it was making. I think he was making all the voices. He was making the female voices, and he was making the male voices. He was making like literally everything. And it's basically a parody game. It came from a parody. And I'm assuming I'm going to find the same kind of humor in this. Now, what worries me is that I'm not sure it translates properly into English. A lot of the jokes were made with the French language in mind. So I'm assuming it kind of does, but at the same time, I don't know. So we'll see. I'll play it in English. I'll see. But I might actually check it out on my own afterwards in French, just to see if they kept the same voices or if they hired voice actors to do the characters. But yeah, it's. I don't know if you guys played the card game like Munchkin, for example. It's kind of like parody items and parody dungeon delving. The tabletop game felt a little bit like that. Like it kind of was supposed to be like a parody thing, and it was actually pretty good. Right. Borderless High. Look at that stuff, man. Oh, yeah. English. Yep. Yeah, we're good. Let's go play. See, like, I put the game in English, and this is still in French, by the way. Basically, it's a tip. It says like if you they have a gauge called randomia, which is that's kind of the point, random, and it's kind of like if you don't spend all your points of like your randomness points, you can do some crazy stuff.
You shall not pass.
That's for the undead.
Run!
First chapter, a feeling of deja vu. The party advances. A steely-eyed ranger, a brutal barbarian, a ruthless ogre, a wizardess with fiery hair, an agile elf, a wily thief, a dwarf, well, you know, just a dwarf. Together, they have just crossed into the terrible Dungeon of Naheulbeuk.
This dungeon's nothing to write home about.
Don't know what we'll find inside here, but it stinks.
That's easy. The ogre just took a dump 5 feet from the door.
I've got a strange feeling of déjà vu.
Because of the ogre shit?
Have you been here before?
I feel like I'd know if I had.
Probably not. No one's ever got in here before.
By the way, what is our quest?
We must find the 12th statuette of Gladalfura.
A statuette?
It's written in the tablets of Skellis that only a one-legged gnome from the northern forest, dancing by the moonlight in the middle of 12 statuettes wrapped in ham. As I was saying, only a one-legged gnome shall open the gates of Zaralbak, and thus accomplish the prophecy.
But what is this strange prophecy?
No idea. We're only in it for the gold. That's why we came here.
Yeah, and I knocked before coming in.
And I called you a half-wit. Ha!
Okay, let's all get along, okay? Let's focus on the statuette.
Do we have any idea where it's located?
Like every statuette, it's in a treasure room, guarded by a powerful warlock.
Battle!
Maybe his powers are even greater than mine.
Sounds about right. What kind of monsters live here?
So, if you look at the random encounter table, these are the monsters in this dungeon. Several kinds of undead, giant spiders, orcs, and goblins.
Hey, goblins.
Underground trolls, warlocks, cursed knights, mutant rats, a bottle of oil, some toilet paper, 2 sponges, and ravioli.
I think you're also reading your shopping list. So no dragons, right?
Nah, well above our level, Cap. Anyway, let us go forth.
Right. So yeah, everything's going well, Kingdom. Thanks for asking, man. How about you? How you doing? How's stuff? But yeah. So the dwarf, as a typical dwarf, hates the half, and vice versa. The half is super slutty. The dwarf thinks he's like the best at everything. The kind of rogue, the thief character steals from literally everybody. So that's kind of like, they're really going like deep into like all the archetypes. It kind of works in English, but it doesn't work as well. I think because the voices are so dumb in French, like they make like really dumb voices. In this one, they kind of go with what you'd expect like an ogre to say, or like a dwarf to sound like, and that kind of stuff. So it works, but it's not the same. It's not the same. But I mean, somebody that doesn't know anything about the franchise in the first place would probably have a blast. Like, would probably not even realize that stuff. But I noticed right away because, you know, obviously. But yeah, so moving the party is easy. Just click anywhere on the ground. Describe the leader by clicking on any character you choose. So leader right now is... Okay, so I can lead with like anybody. Q and E to rotate the map. Okay. Whoa, okay. Rotates like pretty fast. I need like a position between this and this. I kind of want a position where like I can be directly... I wish it wasn't like fixed location. Like there's basically 4 corners that you can rotate between. I really wish it was more like a freeform camera where you can just like rotate the way you like.
Halt! You arrived at a junction and must face 3 choices.
All those doors are closed and blocked off by a strange glowing seal.
Weird. And I'm having another déjà vu.
Oh, shiny, pretty.
Probably some kind of magic lock we have to dispel.
No way we're getting over by some goddamn door. My cousin Krimsley always says, if it's magic, hit it harder.
No, wait!
What?
Oh, my head. You f***ing more... Where are they? Shit! Hey! Dwarf! Elf! Dang it. Did everybody get lost but me? What was that noise?
Good. Now that you know the basics, go forth into the Dungeon of Naheulbeuk. Okay. So find the party members. All right. I mean, I love that it says, like, now that you know the basics. I know literally nothing about the game, by the way. Like, nothing at all.
Oh, damn it, an orc. And I'm alone, of course. I'm alone!
This is the perfect opportunity to discuss the matter of combat, a crucial subject when adventuring in mysterious dungeons.
Open door! Gotta go! Me eat bad gold tripe!
No, I'm not done. Go away, you meanie.
So it's a bathroom?
Enough. Anyway, be cool. He's alone. This shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, so every character has 2 action points that can perform an action and move once per turn. They can also move further by using both action points. Okay, so kind of like an XCOM situation. Order is not a problem. This means you can move to an attack or the opposite, exactly like XCOM. Be careful that some actions will end your turn even if your character still has 2 action points. Okay. This is exactly like XCOM. Look at that. I didn't realize the combat was XCOM. This orc looks rather distracted. Move the ranger on one of the 3 tiles behind him. That one. So you can see this orc, the orientation of the character is important. Backstabbing gives a higher hit chance, critical chance, and will do more damage. Exactly like XCOM. Orient yourself towards the orc to backstab him. Okay. So it's literally XCOM. So the melee attack in the action bar. Okay. Here you'll find an overview of the affliction and status effect, which can affect characters and their duration in turns. You can also check in this box their value, dodge value, their protection value, their level, and their threat level. A down arrow means the orc is suffering from a penalty to his characteristic for 2 turns. Details for your hit chance. This is very important. As you can see, you have a positioning bonus. I do? Oh yeah, 10%, okay. Because you stand behind the enemy. However, if your attack succeed, your enemy will still dodge, may still dodge, or parry your blow. It's not just about having a high hit chance. Okay. Attack the hork and kick his ass. I will.
Ow!
Ow. Oh, if I do that, the orc is not feeling so good. Use wheel on him to access details about his statuses. Ah, there we go. Okay. The orc is weakened. This means he's less efficient now that he's all banged up. His hit chance, physical resistance, and magical resistance are worse. There are 3 weakness thresholds. Depending on the character's health, if a character's health bar changes color, this means they're weakened. Okay. So far makes sense. This penalty also allows you to see the detailed afflictions which affect the character. Here is a penalty of -1 to movement for a duration of 2 turns. Yeah, I can see that. Now kill the orc. Attacking an enemy twice without moving between attacks grants you a focus bonus, which raises your hit chance on an enemy that you already attacked during your previous turn. Oh, really? So, okay. Loot. No loot. I got a number of potions and I can heal everyone for 1 potion. So there's a maximum amount of weight. That's so interesting. Okay. At the end of combat, all characters gain some experience. They gain a baseline share just for having participated to the combat in a varying amount depending on their actions or their luck. A character who goes unconscious during combat will suffer a small penalty to their experience gain, but he will still earn experience. Interesting. The ranger is wounded. Heal him by giving him a potion or with the party heal button. Health does not regenerate between battles, so you'll have to make sure to heal your wounds after combat. But they only have 10 potions, though.
Well, it tastes bad. Reminds me of my granny's soup.
Great. Now we can click on next and move on.
This is... yeah, he's... I mean, they're gone.
There were more than one?
So many I couldn't even count them. But I killed one, which sent them all running. Are you all right?
It was horrible. I found myself in these disgusting toilets. But where are the others? What's going on?
It's because of that moronic dwarf. He must have triggered a magic trap. The whole party's been scattered around this floor. We need to find them.
How about we don't find the dwarf?
No, we'll need his axe if there are other orcs.
Don't you think you could handle them by yourself?
Yeah, that's... even the greatest heroes have their limits. Anyway, let's not hang around here.
Okay. 60 experience, 600 experience, all heroes. Okay. I don't see any chests so far. Or like anything kind of interest. Oh, I can enter the bathroom. Ugh, dude. Ew. Oh, look at that. So there are stuff to loot. And you can press... oh, dude, that's good. So you can press tab, like in Diablo, to see, like, highlight stuff. The game didn't tell me that, but it works.
Ah, here's the thief.
Yippee! Plus, he's not the dwarf.
Silence. You'll get us spotted. There are orcs in this room, and they've got bows and arrows.
We need to devise a plan.
Okay, I got a plan. You attack them while I stand guard, just in case somebody ambushes us.
Sounds like something a coward would say to avoid a fight.
Absolutely not. It's very rational behavior.
I've got a bow, too. I can shoot arrows.
Yikes! Another good reason to take cover. When you're behind an obstacle, you're less likely to get hit. Even by friendly fire.
Well, got no choice if we want to move ahead. We got to get rid of those orcs. How many are there?
I can only see one of them right now. But the others must be close.
I got you. A group of one. I hate people who make a fuss over nothing.
When fighting alone, charging head-on is fine. But when in a group, a battle must be planned. Careful positioning can save you from crushing defeats.
Okay. During the planning phase, you can deploy your characters before combat start. You can position your characters in the highlight area. Movement doesn't cost action points during the planning phase, so you can take as long as you want to strategize. Still, will hold your hand as it is your first time. Select the elf who is out of cover. Have her take cover on the highlighted tile to protect her. Full cover can protect you from ranged attack. They give your opponents a 40% penalty to their hit chance. Okay. Have him take cover too. Hiding behind the half cover will not fully protect you from ranged attack, but the attackers will suffer a 20% penalty to hit chance when attacking you. Okay. Thief. Position him on one of the highlighted tiles so that he's protected from ranged attack and can sneak up to the orc. There are highlighted tiles right now? Okay, I see. Here's how the order of action is determined. Initiative is ranked depending on the character's courage. If the courage is equivalent to the higher dexterity is prioritized when the level of the characters. If their levels are the same, then it's up to chance. There's so many rules, dude. I feel like I'm playing the board game. And the Iron Quest, by the way. And yeah, so much for not finding stuff. Click on the fight when you begin to fight. Ready to begin the fight. Okay, fight. The orc is now in vigilance, which means so he's in Overwatch. Keeping an eye in the area and will attack any enemy that enters it. Since he is not moved before going into vigilance, he can make 2 vigilance shots. If he had moved, he would only be able to make 1 shot. The ranger can move forward, but this would get him shot by the orc in vigilance. Too dangerous. Time to talk about the ability to delay your turn. If a character has not used any action points, they can delay their turn to play at the end of the round. They will act at their normal initiative the following turn. It's a useful ability when you'd like to let another character, friend, or foe before you do. Delay the... Okay. Thief is not the toughest or even the bravest of fighter, but he can dish out a lot of damage and interfere with your foes. Time to get rid of this orc's vigilance. Mouse over him to make his vigilance area appear on the ground. Right. Okay. A character who has entered vigilance mode without moving before, like this one, can shoot twice. If a character in vigilance takes damage or if an enemy moves right next to him, their vigilance will be cancelled. Okay. During movements, you can set some waypoints with left control. This will give you the ability to determine a specific path for your character instead of the suggested path. If the movement area becomes yellow, this means you will sprint. Sprinting will allow you to move further, but you will consume both your action points and then your turn. Move your thief closer by setting waypoints on the highlighted tiles to cancel the orc's vigilance. So here, how do I see, okay. So you can go around the thing, okay. The elf is a former pony grooming champion braiding category. Love it. She's also the least bad character with a bow. The least bad, okay. And has some support skills that can be quite useful. Mouse over the highlighted tile to see which targets the elf can shoot. Oh, okay. Whew. Aiming arcs enable you to preview which targets you can reach by mousing over a tile. The color of the arcs varies depending on your hit chance. Okay. Usually, archers cannot shoot if an enemy is at melee range unless the latter is knocked over, stunned, or frozen. Okay. Move the elf in the highlighted tile so you can shoot the orc. So you cannot shoot from cover. Thank you. Select the standard range attack and mouse over the orc to ready your shot. Your range is highlighted in red on the ground. Enemies within range are also highlighted in red. The range of ranged attack varies depending on your weapon and some skills. Since the orc is outside of your maximum range, you'll suffer a 10% penalty to your hit chance against them. Oh, so you can still... So this is like my close range. This is the normal range, and this is the maximum range. So the fact that he's behind maximum range, I can still reach him, but I won't do as much damage. If a character, friend, or foe is adjacent to your target and in your line of sight, they will be highlighted in orange, meaning there's a chance your shot hits them by accident. The probability of this happening is equivalent to 10% of your hit chance and is shown in red. Ugh. So it's wow, okay. Thank God. Now that the orc's vigilance has been cancelled, you can safely move the ranger forward on the highlighted tile. Now let's talk about support. This is a crucial mechanic. When an ally is oriented towards your target, they will provide you with their support. Usually, support will grant you a 5% bonus to your hit chance. You can stack multiple supports, but only with melee attacks. Characters with high charisma will gain a bonus to their hit chance for every supporting character. Here, the ranger has a 9% bonus to his hit chance instead of 5%, thanks to his charisma. Finally, a support does not require an action. A character can support an attack even if they have already taken their turn for this round. Keep that in mind when orienting your characters. This is like well made. Like the animations are good. Like, it just, the music is good. Like, it just fits, right? Everything is okay. But I feel like they made everything, like, extra rule heavy. Like, it's really complicated. I just feel like having to remember all of that as you're playing is going to take a while before you get used to it. They could have gone a lot simpler with this, is what I mean. I feel like they went, like, really, really complex. Like the orc.